Leave him alone!
Think he looked up at me.
Leave him alone! God damn it! Leave this fucking man alone! Jesus!
Angelo Dundee was one of boxing's greatest trainers and cornermen. He worked with legends like Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, and George Foreman. Dundee spent over 5 decades in boxing and saw everything.
Cinch. That's the first question he asked me in the hospital. How long you think I'm going to be out? And no doubt he'll come back. There's no problem.
He knew the sport inside and out. His calm voice and brilliant advice helped champions win their biggest fights. But Dundee didn't love every fighter he encountered. Some boxers made his blood boil with their behavior, attitudes, and disrespect for the sport. These weren't just tough opponents for his fighters. They were men who represented everything wrong with boxing.
The kid is not 22 years old anymore, he's 31. But the point is, he's still a good fighter. He's a great fighter in my mind.
Some wasted incredible talent. Others brought corruption and violence into the ring. A few disrespected the traditions Dundee held sacred. Today, we're counting down the 10 boxers Angelo Dundee hated the most. These fighters frustrated, angered, and disappointed the legendary cornerman. From criminals to quitters, from bullies to cowards, these men earned Dundee's lasting contempt. 10. Jake LaMotta. Jake LaMotta drove Angelo Dundee crazy with his stubborn attitude. LaMotta refused to listen to corner advice during fights.
It's LaMotta to the body and to the head. Against the ropes, Ortiz in trouble.
He thought he knew better than everyone else. Trainers would give him clear instructions, but LaMotta ignored them completely. He fought his own way, no matter what. This arrogance made working with him nearly impossible. What disgusted Dundee most were LaMotta's mob connections. LaMotta threw fights for money and admitted it later. He deliberately lost to Billy Fox in 1947 to get a title shot. This betrayal of boxing's integrity sickened Dundee. The sport was supposed to be honest competition, not fixed business deals. LaMotta's brutal, reckless fighting style also went against everything Dundee believed.
But even at 170, LaMotta seemed to run out of gas.
Dundee loved the sweet science, the art of boxing. LaMotta just wanted to hurt people. He took unnecessary punishment and dished out savage beatings. There was no strategy or intelligence in his approach. 9. Sonny Liston. Sonny Liston terrified people, and Angelo Dundee hated what he represented.
With a right over the left and dropped the challenger.
Liston had a criminal background and deep mob connections. These ties damaged boxing's reputation and brought shame to the sport. Dundee believed boxing should be clean and honest. Liston brought darkness and corruption wherever he went. Liston's intimidation tactics extended beyond opponents. He threatened cornermen, officials, and anyone who crossed him. His mean-spirited behavior created a toxic atmosphere around every fight. Dundee witnessed Liston's bullying firsthand and found it disgusting. Boxing was supposed to be about skill, not criminal intimidation. What frustrated Dundee most was Liston's wasted talent.
As far as I know, he's going to come down here and be rechecked again by the doctor. And he just had a funny little feeling in his mouth.
He had incredible natural ability, but refused proper training discipline. Liston could have been one of the greatest heavyweights ever. Instead, he partied, ignored his trainers, and relied only on his power and intimidation. 8. Roberto Duran. Roberto Duran's no-mas moment disgusted Angelo Dundee forever. In 1980, Duran quit against Sugar Ray Leonard in the 8th round. He simply turned away and said, "No more." This cowardly surrender embarrassed everyone involved in boxing. Dundee believed fighters should never quit. They could lose, get stopped, or knocked out. But voluntarily quitting was unforgivable. Duran's dirty tactics inside the ring also bothered Dundee immensely. He headbutted, elbowed, and hit after the bell regularly. These intentional fouls had nothing to do with competitive spirit. They were just cheap shots meant to hurt opponents unfairly. Dundee loved clean boxing, and Duran made the sport look barbaric. Outside the ring, Duran showed no class or respect. He insulted opponents with crude, vulgar language. He made obscene gestures and acted like a street thug. This behavior damaged boxing's image and made it harder to promote the sport as respectable entertainment. Duran refused to follow game plans or listen to corner advice. He fought with pure aggression and rage instead of strategy. For Dundee, who valued intelligence and tactics, Duran represented everything wrong with modern boxing. He made the sweet science look like a street brawl. 7. Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson broke Angelo Dundee's heart with wasted potential. Tyson had incredible talent and devastating power. He could have been the greatest heavyweight ever. Instead, he threw it all away through terrible decisions and lack of discipline. Watching Tyson self-destruct frustrated Dundee beyond words. Tyson's violent behavior outside the ring damaged boxing's reputation severely. The criminal charges, prison time, and personal scandals made boxing look dangerous and corrupt. Dundee spent his career trying to make boxing respectable. Tyson undid that work with every headline about his legal troubles. After Customato died, Tyson refused quality corner advice from anyone. He surrounded himself with yes-men who let him do whatever he wanted. No trainer could control him or help him improve. This arrogance destroyed his career from the inside. The ear-biting incident against Evander Holyfield disgusted Dundee completely. Tyson bit off part of Holyfield's ear in 1997. This savage act had no place in professional boxing. For Dundee, Tyson represented boxing's descent into pure spectacle over sport. The talent was extraordinary, but the self-destruction made Tyson impossible to respect. 6. George Foreman. George Foreman in the 1970s was arrogant and impossible to work with. Before fighting Muhammad Ali in Zaire, Foreman dismissed all trainer advice. He believed his devastating power was enough to destroy anyone. This overconfidence and disrespect for cornerman's expertise irritated Dundee tremendously. Foreman's intimidation tactics seemed more thuggish than competitive. He tried to terrify opponents before fights even started. He glared, threatened, and acted like a bully rather than a professional athlete. Dundee believed boxing should showcase skill and courage, not playground intimidation. Inside the ring, Foreman ignored corner instructions completely. He relied only on his massive punching power to overwhelm opponents. There was no strategy, no adjustment, no intelligence, just raw force and aggression. This approach frustrated boxing purists like Dundee who valued technique. After losing to Ali in the Rumble in the Jungle, Foreman made endless excuses. He blamed the ropes, the heat, everything except his own mistakes. He refused to accept that Ali outboxed him brilliantly. This bitterness and inability to show grace in defeat disappointed Dundee. 5. Riddick Bowe. Riddick Bowe committed one of boxing's greatest sins in Angelo Dundee's eyes. After winning the heavyweight title, Bowe threw the WBC championship belt in a trash can. He did this to avoid fighting Lennox Lewis. This disrespectful act toward boxing history infuriated Dundee beyond measure. Bowe wasted incredible potential through pure laziness and poor conditioning. He had size, power, and skills to dominate the heavyweight division for years. Instead, he ballooned in weight and refused serious training. Dundee couldn't stand watching talent get thrown away through lack of discipline. The refusal to fight Lennox Lewis was pure cowardice in Dundee's view. Dundee trained Lewis and knew Bowe was running scared. Champions should fight the best available competition. Bowe chose the easy path, fighting weaker opponents for easier paydays. This gutless decision disgusted everyone who loved real competition. Bowe showed no respect for boxing's traditions and championship lineage. He treated the heavyweight title like a prop instead of something sacred. For Dundee, who cornered many champions, the belt represented decades of boxing history and honor. This failure haunted Dundee's view of modern boxing. 4. Floyd Patterson. Floyd Patterson's psychological fragility frustrated Angelo Dundee constantly. Patterson had talent and won the heavyweight championship twice, but his mental weakness prevented true greatness. He crumbled under pressure in the biggest moments. This lack of mental toughness drove Dundee crazy. Patterson wore disguises after losing fights to avoid public recognition. He claimed this showed humility, but Dundee saw it differently. It revealed weakness and inability to handle defeat like a man. Champions should face their losses with dignity, not hide in shame. Patterson refused to develop the killer instinct needed at heavyweight level. Dundee believed great fighters needed controlled aggression. Patterson couldn't flip that mental switch when necessary. His passivity cost him multiple championship opportunities. 3. Joe Frazier. Joe Frazier's bitter hatred toward Muhammad Ali created serious problems for Angelo Dundee. Frazier couldn't separate professional rivalry from personal rage. His resentment toward Ali consumed him in unhealthy ways. This poisoned relationship made Dundee's job incredibly difficult since he cornered Ali. Frazier refused reconciliation with Ali even decades after their fighting days ended. He held pointless grudges that served no purpose except his own misery. When Ali's health declined, Frazier still couldn't find forgiveness. This stubborn bitterness disgusted Dundee, who believed competitors could respect each other. The Ali-Frazier rivalry forced Dundee to choose sides constantly. Frazier made everything personal and expected others to share his hatred. Dundee wanted professional relationships with all fighters, but Frazier's anger made neutrality impossible. This created uncomfortable tension throughout the boxing community. Frazier's trainer, Eddie Futch, also had rivalries with Dundee that added more problems. The corner wars matched the fighter wars. Every Ali-Frazier fight became a battle between training camps, not just boxers. 2. Larry Holmes. Larry Holmes, breaking down Muhammad Ali in 1980, crushed Angelo Dundee's soul. Holmes brutally beat the aging Ali for 10 rounds. Worse, Holmes showed no mercy despite knowing Ali was finished. He seemed to enjoy punishing his former idol and sparring partner. Holmes's post-fight comments disrespected Ali's legendary legacy. Instead of showing compassion, Holmes criticized Ali and complained about not receiving enough respect himself. His bitterness about living in Ali's shadow consumed him for years. Holmes's arrogant statement that Rocky Marciano couldn't carry my jockstrap showed terrible disrespect for boxing legends. His constant complaints about being underappreciated became tiresome and classless. Champions should carry themselves with dignity. For Dundee, Holmes represented the younger generation's disrespect toward boxing's greatest heroes. Holmes had talent, but lacked grace and humility. Watching him destroy Ali physically while showing no remorse made Holmes someone Dundee could never forgive. 1. Don King topped Angelo Dundee's hate list, even though King was a promoter, not a fighter. Dundee included King because he boxed people outside the ring through manipulation and exploitation. King damaged boxing more than any actual boxer ever could. King exploited fighters financially throughout his career, especially Muhammad Ali. He manipulated contracts and stole millions from the men who risked their lives. King's fraudulent business practices became legendary in boxing's dark history. What Dundee hated most was how the King destroyed Ali's health by pushing unnecessary fights. Ali fought too long because the King kept arranging paydays. These fights after Ali's prime caused permanent brain damage that haunted his final decades. King's criminal past included manslaughter conviction and constant fraud allegations. He turned boxing into a corrupt business rather than an honest sport. Championship rankings got manipulated for profit. Fights got arranged based on money, not merit. Angelo Dundee witnessed boxing's greatest moments and darkest characters. These 10 figures represented everything he fought against throughout his legendary career. Subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for more incredible boxing stories and untold histories.